going on, guys? JSGC here, and we are here for another Manchester City video. Today we're going to be doing a match review of Manchester City's Community Shield match against Arsenal. I want to apologise for not doing a live watch along for you guys. I was at a wedding. I wasn't really able to check out the game live. I've managed to check it out since afterwards, so I can give a good review of how Man City played and some of my thoughts and going forward, etc, etc. So before I do crack on with this review, make sure, like always, if you are enjoying the content, then do subscribe. We're going to be doing loads of Manchester City content coming throughout the season, so if you haven't already, do subscribe to my channel. Also, don't forget as well, social media links, they're in the description below and sliding across at the bottom of the screen if you want to go and follow me on my Twitter and Instagram. Email also in the description too if you want to hit me up for any sponsorships or any videos or any general business inquiries. TikTok link also in the description too if you want to go and follow me on there. Do leave a thumbs up as well. 100 likes is the aim. Also, don't forget as well to let me know your thoughts in the comments below of what you make of this game. So let's crack on with this video. We're going to start off very first by just digesting what this result means both for Manchester City and for Arsenal, because let's not forget, last season Arsenal were Manchester City's main competitors when it came to the Premier League trophy, and this result, I could suggest to you guys, is going to be another potential two-horse race, certainly between City and Arsenal, potentially others as well, depending on how they do throughout the season. But it is very much looking like there isn't too much between these two sides, and a lot of what we saw last season was on show again here at Wembley in this Community Shield as well. Seeing Man City having more possession than Arsenal isn't something that we saw last season, both at the Emirates Stadium and at the Etihad. Man City were more than happy for Arsenal to have the ball, and Man City were just happy to be clinical in front of goal. Yeah, we didn't really see that in this game, and it's always a difficult game on a big Wembley pitch. They're always going to be really narrow, really close games. You're going up against top quality opposition, and when that happens, games are going to be decided by fine margins. We saw that the best example I can think of very recently was the FA Cup final against Manchester United. That was a match decided by very important, very fine moments that happened during the game, and it's football. Some things go your way, some things don't. With Manchester City, unfortunately for the Community Shield here, it didn't go our way. On another day, could easily have gone our way, and all of a sudden the headlines are very different, and I imagine it will be a lot of, it's to be expected that Man City are just going to steamroll the Premier League once more. It's not competitive, 115 charges, Manchester City are the villains, Man City spend too much money, etc, etc, on repeat, because that's just how it is for Manchester City right now in this current era. Yet Arsenal win this game, and all of a sudden it's Arsenal are coming out. Arsenal are going to be the team that are challenging Manchester City. Arsenal are going to push on and win these major trophies. And from what I saw from this game, as I said, I just don't think there's too much to split these teams. When we face Arsenal, it will be decided on fine margins, like the match was at the Emirates Stadium, like the match was at the Etihad Stadium, like it is against all decent teams out there. It's all about putting your opportunities away, taking advantage of the positions that you're putting yourself in, and making sure you're seeing things out until the final whistle. And to me, this is a really good lesson for Manchester City to learn, that with the Premier League in particular, for the first few weeks, there's going to be a lot of added on time in the first half and in the second half. It's just going to be one of them things. And actually, I think it's a good thing for football that that's coming in, because there's a lot of time when Man City are getting frustrated, teams are taking their time, the ball's not in play, they're taking forever for goal kicks, they're taking forever for corners, throw-ins, literally everything. So all of a sudden you face a situation where Man City might be losing 10 minutes in the first half and 10 minutes in the second half, where we're only getting 70 minutes of competitive action in a 90-minute game. So I think that's a really good step in the right direction, that we're getting all these added on times put in, because in the end, over a 38 game season, it's going to showcase who is the best, no questions asked. But when it comes to one-off games, cup finals and things, when you go up against decent teams like Arsenal, it is going to be decided on fine margins, and that was the case with this game as well. Now, City, to me, I thought played a good game. 55% possession is a decent amount of possession on a big Wembley pitch, having more shots than Arsenal, more shots on target than Arsenal as well, creating clear-cut opportunities, having more passes than them. It was a good performance from Manchester City. It was very near a perfect performance, a hard-fought victory for Manchester City if it weren't for Leandro Trossard's very late equaliser for a massive deflection from Manual Akanji. That's what Man City managed to restrict Arsenal to. Arsenal had a couple of decent opportunities in the first half. They didn't put them away, and they were punished by Manchester City through Cole Palmer. And I'm rest assured that when City play Arsenal at the Emirates and at the Etihad this season, it's going to be the same again. If Arsenal are creating these opportunities and they don't put them away, Man City will, and you will get punished for it. As I said, Arsenal have dug really deep and found an equaliser through that big deflection. And it's football, these things happen, but the lessons for Arsenal whilst they're celebrating have to be learned, because if they're not, Man City will learn their lessons. History shows that Man City learn their lessons. We won the treble last year through doing that. We pushed Arsenal all the way in the Premier League and it ended up winning the Premier League with a few games to spare, because Man City learn these lessons. Pep Guardiola knows we learn these lessons. Man City get off to slow starts when it is the pre-season in the Community Shield. It's why we lost to Leicester a couple of years back. It's why we lost to Liverpool last year. It's why we've ended up losing on penalties here to Arsenal as well, because Man City, in terms of their preparation, they like their team to be nice and fresh. And at the end of the day, I say it every year, even when Man City have won the Community Shield, I say this, and if we'd won yesterday, I'd be saying the exact same as well. This is, to me, a glorified friendly. This is a match that shows me where Man City are up to ahead of our big game on Friday night against Burnley, and I would snap your hand off if it meant that Manchester City win that game but don't win the Community Shield. Yeah, Arsenal will be thinking to themselves they've got a psychological advantage to know how to beat Manchester City. Do they? Do they know how to beat Manchester City? They haven't beaten Manchester City here. They drew 1-1, took it to penalties and won it on the lottery of a penalty shootout. I think there's one of the lessons to be learned for Man City is they need to improve on their penalty taking. We've lost İlkay Gundogan, we've lost Riyad Mahrez, two pretty good penalty takers who, if they were still at City and on that pitch, they'd have been taking a penalty and then penalty shootout. So I think that's something that over the season Man City can be trying to improve on, because there may just be a very important game this season that is decided on penalty shootouts. And of course, I'm not going to disagree here. I think Arsenal now will be full of confidence from that, knowing that they're in a penalty shootout. They've already won one this season against the very best in Europe in Manchester City. So Arsenal, they'll take away a lot from this game. Man City will take away a lot from this game, but if it means Man City end up winning on Friday, this match against Arsenal, I just do not care about. With Arsenal obviously not winning anything and qualifying based on they finished second in the Premier League, they have a point to prove. This game, to me, was a match that Arsenal needed to come out on top, because Man City, we know how strong City are mentally. The bigger questions get asked of Arsenal, and I think this has showcased that Arsenal are going to be in and around the top of the Premier League. So it's going to be pretty much the same as what it was last season, where City are just going to have to be ruthless. They're just going to have to make sure they get off to a nice quick start, pick up them victories while we're only playing once a week, and go from there, because getting off to slow starts, it puts yourself under pressure. So that's what we don't want. And as I was saying, we beat Burnley. Nobody really cares about this Community Shield. Arsenal drop points next week against Nottingham Forest, and it could happen. If that does happen, all of a sudden, serious questions then get asked, and they're thinking to themselves, actually, have we ended up being over-optimistic about their season? So there's lots of different ways of going about this. To me, it was good to get some minutes for certain players for City in this game. It's a beautiful goal scored by Cole Palmer as well. A question will get asked about his future, and good for him now, because it looks like maybe he stands an opportunity of maybe being in and around the Man City first team squad once more. It was a lovely taken goal. He tried something very similar in pre-season, and he kept the shots kept getting blocked, whereas he managed to get this one right, cutting it onto his left foot and putting it into the back of the net. So maybe him just putting out a little pointer out there to City to say, actually, I want to stay. It was good to see Kevin De Bruyne returning for Manchester City as well, and getting some more minutes for City. Good to see Mateo Kovacic making his debut in England for Manchester City as well. And everything looked pretty sharp and pretty fresh from Manchester City. We can be more clinical. We didn't really find a way of getting Erling Haaland involved too much in this game. It's just one of them things with the Premier League. I think teams are just just sussing out Erling Haaland, and Erling Haaland's adapted his game really well. We know how many goals he was scoring in the first half of last season. It just started to dwindle off towards the end of last season as he was helping the team out more, and I think it's important that City start to find a way to get Haaland involved more, because in tight, close-knit games, if you're needing somebody who's going to be clinical in front of goal, Erling Haaland is that player. And I think one of the biggest things I took away from this is Phil Foden had a brilliant opportunity to double City's lead to win the Community Shield, and he ended up pulling off a good save for Aaron Ramsdale instead. He needed a big confidence boost, Ramsdale, because I know he's not had the best of pre-seasons with Arsenal. He gets that confidence boost, whereas for me, Phil Foden, he needs to be adapting his game. This season now with Mahrez leaving, there's a big gap either on the right wing or through central midfield for Manchester City, with Gundogan leaving as well. We've always looked a little bit short, either out wide or through the middle. This season needs to be the season for Phil Foden. If it is to be his season, to me, he needs to be better in front of goal, and that opportunity that he had in close-knit games in the Premier League or the Champions League, them opportunities need to go into the back of the net. As I said, it's important lessons, and if you're going to make these mistakes and not put your opportunities away, I'd rather it come now whilst we're playing friendlies and we're playing in the Community Shield, because once it gets to Friday night and Premier League football being back, it is the start, and City need to be good from the get-go if they want another successful season, which I certainly think they will do. So I don't really think there's too much else there to add on. I've not really learned too much from this game. It was a game decided by fine margins. We felt really unlucky with the deflection of keeping Trossard shot out from the end. And as I said, this video would be a little bit different if that was blocked and put out for a corner and Arsenal don't go on to score. With the big added on time, it's just one of them things that happens, and you've got to play to the whistle, and that is how we are in the Premier League right now. It'll be like this for the first few weeks. Once teams start to adapt and suss out that you can't time waste as much and it's all getting added back on, teams will start to realise actually we need to be playing football, and these 8, 9, 10, 11 minutes that are getting added on will soon start to return to normal, and it'll be back to the 3, 4, 5 minutes again once more. So it's all about getting the 90 minutes of competitive action. But yeah, really looking forward to the start of the season. Another good run out there for Manchester City. Now the seriousness takes in. Premier League action, Burnley away, return for Manchester City to Turf Moor, recently promoted Vincent Kompany. It's going to be a really interesting game. It's got Burnley playing some lovely football. We'll have all the build-up to that for you guys to look forward to. So if you haven't already, do subscribe to my channel. And yes, I will be doing a live watch-along of that Burnley game for you guys to enjoy as well. Also, don't forget as well to let me know your thoughts, what you make of this game in the comments below. Subscribe if you're new around here. Press that red button, press the bell, and put your push notifications on. Social media links, they're in the description below and sliding across at the bottom of the screen if you want to go and follow me on my Twitter and Instagram. Email also in the description too if you want to hit me up for any sponsorships for any videos or any general business inquiries. TikTok link also in the description if you want to go and follow me on there. Also, don't forget as well to leave a thumbs up. 100 likes is the aim, and I'll see you guys again very soon for the next Manchester City video. So I've been JSGC. Thank you everyone for watching. I hope everyone is safe and well. Peace. Ciao for now.